Perhaps unsurprisingly, complaints about rail operators also soared last year, up by nearly a third to 2 million, and 20% of customers, 1 in 5, say they're resigned to a poor service. That's worse than any other sector. Meanwhile, complaints against all UK companies rose from 52 million to 55 million during 2016. Those figures were compiled by the Ombudsman's services. They provide independent dispute resolution for a number of financial and economic sectors. Lewis Shan-Smith is the Chief Ombudsman, and he's here in the studio with me. I mean, quite shocking numbers. There are a lot of people dissatisfied with the services they're getting, a lot of people making complaints.
Yeah, and much higher than last year. And interestingly, people are much more willing to complain than they were before. The study we've done shows that people are something like 26% more likely to complain than they were this time last year.
And I want to show you, I've got a couple of things to show you in our screens here, one of which just shows you those different sectors, so parts of the economy where people say they are just not satisfied, and rail being the main one. About 1 in 5, kind of 20% of people think rail services. You don't cover rail services, do you? At
the moment, there's no ombudsman that covers rail services, and I know that the government's looking very closely, as is the industry itself, trying to put something in place that will give people a means to make complaints and have those complaints heard independently.
Okay, but let's rewind. What is the point of ombudsman services? I mean, we're seeing that people are complaining, but they're not actually kind of converting those complaints through to the Ombudsman. Only 5% a few years ago, maybe up a bit since then, are actually complaining to the Ombudsman. Yeah,
we're the Ombudsman for the energy industry and the communications industry in the UK. We have seen a rise in complaints coming through to us. What our role is when you've complained to a company and you remain dissatisfied, or the company's just not answered you, once 8 weeks have passed, you have a legal right to come to us. We'll take the complaint, we'll look at it from both sides because we are independent, make a decision, and if the customer accepts that decision, it's legally binding. So last year I think we did about 80,000 investigations in total.
Okay, but it takes a while, doesn't it? And is there a problem there that people are, find that process of having to go to the Ombudsman so, it's going to take such a long time, it's so demanding that they just don't do it?
They think it's demanding, they think it'll take a long time, but actually it doesn't. It's quite easy to do.
How long will it take? Okay, if I was going to go onto my computer now and complain.
Maximum 42 days. The target.
But there's forms to fill in. You need to wait.
No. You can do it quite easily online. You can do it by phone. We'll fill in the form for you. It's free to use. It's easy to use. We'll keep you updated as we progress. And as I say, at the end of it, you may get back what you think you're owed. Or you will get back if you're owed something. It's actually worthwhile doing, because if you think you're owed, say, £100 by your energy supplier, why not go and get it?
About the EU referendum. Some of these ombudsman services are kind of supported by EU legislation, EU rules, particularly for consumer ombudsman. Is there a risk that coming out of the EU will remove some of those protections for the UK?
I don't think it will, because the government is very clear in its aim to give more protection to consumers, not less protection to consumers. The Chancellor said that in his autumn statement, and I think we'll see that developing when the Green Paper comes out this year. So I think we'll actually see the government doing the opposite. It's very keen to see an increase in consumer protection.